Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day, or Onul Shonim, is John Yoon, and he's watching all the way from Seoul, South Korea. I feel like I probably butchered that Korean phrase that you taught me, but I tried. So thank you so much for watching. Okay, so also I want to say sorry guys, this is up so late, but it's been a really long day and night. But anyway, let's talk about Big Brother. Yesterday, Ashley and Sarah had a quick chat, and Ashley was like, Sarah, I just want you to know that you're good with me next week. If Brittany goes, you're not going to be alone. You can team up with me and Peely. And I just think this is kind of hilarious because Ashley can't compete for HOH next week. So she's basically saying, Sarah, I tried to get you out this week and I failed, but don't take it personally. I hope that you can help me next week and take out the guys for me instead of getting rid of me. But you know what? Sarah is not going after Ashley at this point. She's got bigger fish to fry, so I really don't think Ashley has anything to worry about. But anyway, Bruno and Godfrey were chatting, and it's pretty tough right now to figure out where exactly Bruno stands, where his head is at. It's hard to tell if he's trying to go after Zach or what. But he's talking to Godfrey, and he's like, alright, Sarah is definitely going after Zach and Ashley at this point, and so are we. So I guess Bruno's actually going for Zach? I don't know. Is it too early? But Bruno's like, I'm not going after Sarah, so I hope that she's not going after me either. But then Bruno and Godfrey are talking about how this next HOH is so important and they need to win it. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go for it. I really hope we get this. Are you really going to go for it though? Because I feel like they say that every week, and then we see their diary room sessions and they're just like, yeah man, I threw that, what? So who knows if they're actually gonna go for it. But Sarah and Brittany were talking yesterday and they were trying to figure out who has more power in the house right now, Zach or Bruno. So after going through whatever not pros and cons, but like after making a few points for each, they determined that Zach probably has more power right now. He basically has 3 votes. He has his vote, Ashley's vote, and Peely's vote. So he's wielding a lot of power right now. But they also talked about how Bruno probably has just as many friends in the jury right now as Zach. So they're both huge threats and they both need to go. So then they came up with this new theory that like maybe Zach and Bruno are related. No, I mean, I guess like they're kind of looking for any reason that Zach and Bruno would want to keep each other because it just doesn't make sense. I totally agree with that, but no, they are not related. But anyway, then they were trying to figure out why everyone else wants them out of the house so much, and they decide it's because the others hate people who think. I mean, pretty much. How many times have we seen Ashley and Peely complain about how people need to stop talking to them and it's too much thinking and it's stressful? So they're pretty much right on with that. Gross. So Zach and Ashley were chatting in the HOH room and they were talking about next week and what would be like a worst case scenario and stuff as far as HOH goes. And Ashley was like, you know, I'd be cool with Sarah winning the next HOH. And Zach is freaking flabbergasted. He's like, are you freaking serious? He's like, Sarah would go after me. She's coming after me. She would put both of us up. Yeah, methinks that that's kind of what Ashley wants because she's planning on Sarah taking out Zach for her at some point. But she probably shouldn't have let that slip to Zach. So Zach is like, well, if I won HOH, I'd put up Godfrey and Sarah. So he does mention, though, he's still not totally sure if he can trust Bruno, but he feels like he can trust him more than Godfrey or Sarah. But he brings up that he feels like Bruno is kind of insecure about their alliance because he's always like, are we good? Are we good? Like, the constant asking if they're in a good spot is concerning him a little bit. So this morning, Peely was freaking out She's really nervous about telling Brittany that she's voting her out, but at the same time, she feels really fake just like talking to her like nothing's going on. So she's like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna tell her? Blah, blah, blah. And they're all just like, relax. We're all gonna tell her before it happens, so just like chill out. So I guess it doesn't really help that Sarah is still campaigning. This is like Peely's nightmare. So Sarah tells Peely, yeah, all of us girls need to get together later and talk about things. So Peely's just like, yeah, you're right. Let's all talk later. So today there were some fun things going on. The house guests got the Twitter selfie camera, yay! And they got a task called the 7 Sandwich Spectacular. So Ashley was not participating in this task. She was like the judge, and then the remaining house guests were split up into 3 teams. So each team had 15 minutes to make a Sammy with exactly 7 ingredients because they're the final 7. So the first team, Godfrey and Bruno, they called their creation Taste. I feel like they probably should have just called it Gross. They made it nasty on purpose. They had like hot sauce and Fruit Loops and like onions, and it was just like disgusting, like horseradish sauce. Ugh. Okay, Zach and Pilar, they called their sandwich the Corporal, and we all know that Zach loves a good sandwich, so he was all serious about it. But usually he's asking Ashley to make it for him. Oh, so they had like bacon and pickles and all that good stuff, and she was just like, it's really good, but it's not that original. And then Sarah and Brittany, their sandwich was called the Woodworker Club. Okay. It was kind of interesting. They had like pears on it. What? That's interesting. But Ashley loved it, and she said it was very original. I'm so sorry. So Ashley ended up picking Sarah and Brittany as the winners, and their reward was they got to each make themselves a sandwich and eat it, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but don't forget, they're have-nots this week, so anything helps. And they got to use whatever ingredients they wanted and whatever size they wanted. Did you just fall asleep?
No.
It looked like you fell asleep and were like falling and woke up. Anyway, so they made some big-ass Sammys. I think Sarah called hers like the Prime Minister. It was freaking huge. She got this huge thing of focaccia and just like went to town on it. But anyway, back to the game. Peely told Ashley, you know what, I'm not sure if we should be voting out Brittany this week. It doesn't seem logical. So she makes some really good points to Ashley, and Ashley just like brushes her off, and she just reels her back in. She's like, don't listen to what Brittany and Sarah say, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then, Ashley, you need to stop playing Zach's game. But anyway, Sarah is still campaigning to Peely and Ashley. She's like, the 4 of us girls need to stay strong. We need to take out the guys. And Ashley's like, whoa. If you won HOH, would you put up me and Zach? And Sarah's like, no. Yes, I would put up Zach, but I would put up Bruno next to him. So Sarah's like, Brittany and I are not coming after you, so I don't know where that's coming from. I think the guys are trying to pit us against each other, which I feel like that's true. So the guys realize that Sarah is talking to Peely and Ashley, and they hate it because Sarah is poison. So after a while, they bust in and they're just like, what's up? Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. We got the special power, we got the eviction, and a new HOH, which I think is going to be very pivotal. So let me know who you guys want Brittany to put up on the block when she uses her special power. Who do you want to go home? And until tomorrow, the big day, much love.
Edit.